Kids to me is another home away from home. The first time I stepped into the doors, I took a trial class and I didn't know what to expect. The same day, I don't know how it happened, I got a letter in the mail from Lee Noting stating I got a scholarship and she wanted me to dance here. I felt it was so open and a relief of stress from me and my parents because we never could afford any of the things or the opportunities that Coca has brought to me. So first I'd like to say thank you. And basically Coca just opened so many doors and opportunities for children to be themselves and unique, and for kids who are less fortunate like myself or don't have anything to come and express themselves. So basically Coca to me is family, friends, love, enjoyment, and just a place to be me.
I'm Kathleen Spillers, and my daughters are Shelby and Slane Davis, and we are a part of the Coca family. And we're excited of being here, and we've learned a lot of things, and they've grown as dancers, they've grown in character, and I owe that to the discipline that comes from the teaching here at Coca.
I've worked at Coca for a long time, since 1999. I've had an opportunity to see our programming at lots and lots of different schools and work with a lot of teaching artists. One of the schools that we've worked with for a long time has an after-school theater program. And I will never forget, during the performance, culminating performance at one of these programs, there was a boy, and I think it was the first time he had ever done a show. It was a boy who was running around backstage getting ready to make his next entrance, and he saw me and he just stopped. He said, "I love this." And it was just this wonderful moment where I realized that he saw what was happening and let himself have that joy, and it was fantastic.
Years ago, my daughter started dancing here at Coca. They came from a dance academy in Florissant, and we followed their teacher, Christine Cardell, who we adore. And they really wanted to dance here, but we knew that financially there wasn't really any way that we could do it. But Coca helped us out immensely and took care of all of the financial concerns that we had and worked with us. And Coca doesn't just foster their dance ability, they nourish the budding young artists that they're becoming, but they also take care of them and support them in every walk of life. And I love to see the community that Coca created, because for us, when we leave our home half an hour away and we come out here, it's like leaving one home and walking into another home, where there's love and support and nurturing for all of the students. And I love walking in and little kids running up and saying, "Hi, Mrs. Byers, how are you?" and smiles from the faculty and the staff, and everyone greets you with a warm smile, and everybody's willing to help you out in any way that they can. And so on top of my daughters developing a talent and an ability that they love, they found another place to call home and another community where they have friends and friendships that will last a lifetime. So I love Coca for everything that it is.
The story I want to share with you is about this guy. That's Will. Will is 7, and Will has developed this love for the theater and art. And strangely enough, his mother's an artist, and I guess I've always had this belief that one of my kids was going to end up on Broadway, and I think this might be the one. But what Coca has done for him is it's taken a kid who has naturally been shy and tough to kind of come out of his shell, but he's really very gifted. And so he was involved in an acting class with Josh, and he loves Josh, and Josh is a tremendous teacher. And so what Josh was able to do in this acting class, in this performance class, was to get Will to actually go out on stage by himself and perform.
My name is Brooke Terry, and I'm a part of the TIP program. It's my 2nd year. I really love coming to Coca because it's a fun place to enjoy dancing, what I love to do. And it's also a place where I've met new friends, and I like seeing my friends, where I can just come and dance. and dancing is my passion, and one day I'd like to be a part of the pre-pro program and a part of the company, and I would really like to grow up through COCA and become a better dancer and just a better person.
For me, COCA is really great at bringing out people's thing. I was teaching a class with some kids, and a parent was telling me about how sports wasn't his thing, and other things weren't going well for him, school, so on and so forth. But when he came and he did my ice cream camp, she was like, he really found his thing. And so I found out with other parents, they're like, I found my thing in COCA, what their thing is for their kids. And COCA really does that really well. And even with COCA Biz, where I teach a lot for COCA Biz, we constantly see these people that come in and they're really reticent to come in and jump right into some of the activities. They don't always want to do it right away, but you see moments later when they start really getting involved, they find their thing and they find some moments in there that they can really connect to for themselves. And I think it's really powerful what we do. I really do see the change in people and in groups and the effect that we have on them, and it's really an amazing thing, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
My experience with Interchange has been one of great success. I have been on two sides of a coin. As an artist, I've come in and worked with students, and I've seen them initial stages not know anything about photography and be able to, at the end of the stage, think that they can go into a career using photography as a means of support. I have enjoyed Interchange because it has incorporated the arts as a means to learning skillfully math, English, geography, and they're able to think that, oh, this is natural. This is quite natural for me to implement art to help me with my skills of math, with my skills of English. So I've truly enjoyed working with Interchange.
My name is Kevin Mansko, and I have been with COCA for about 10 years. I teach Music Matters here at Jefferson Elementary School, which is an off-site program. I remember one particular one, I believe this was back in 2006, 2007, and I had 4th and 5th graders. And we had the COCA Cabana, and it was at the main branch on site. And the kids here in the Jefferson Elementary School in this urban arts program had never really been to the main branch, and this was the first time they went. And I believe the theme that year was like Hollywood or something of that nature. And so when they got out of their bus, they were greeted with red carpet, and people were staged as photographers and interviewers, and they interviewed the kids as they came in as if they were Hollywood celebrities, and they performed in front of the entire COCA community, and it was a phenomenal experience for them as well as me. When you're a part of the COCA family, what you establish is memories for life. And I've seen some of these kids since that time, and many of them are in high school or in middle school now, and they still talk about that particular moment or all their times that they shared in COCA. They still sing the songs that we sang.
Hi, I'm Lisa Belosky. I'm a visual artist and a printmaker in St. Louis, and I had an exhibition in the COCA Gallery, the Millstone Gallery, called 4 Chapters in the Present We Were. And I had such an amazing experience working with COCA, and it really was the ideal place for me to show the work that I did. The work is based on interviews with older Americans from the St. Louis area, and it gave me the opportunity to show the work in a place where the community could be involved, including the people that I interviewed. So throughout the run of the exhibition, a number of groups came into the gallery, and I was able to talk about the interviews and the work that I did in relation to American history. I talked with University City High School students who did a project based on my exhibition. I brought in the people that I interviewed, and we had a wonderful time talking about the images that resulted. Students and faculty from the American Culture Studies program at Washington University were able to come. So the fact that the exhibition happened here at COCA made it possible for me to involve the community in the very content of the exhibition, and it's been a wonderful experience.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Radke, And my COCA story began back when I was a student at Webster University. I had a friend who taught classes here at COCA, and she asked me to sub for her. Of course, I was thrilled to have this opportunity to have a lot of classes here and work here, and so yes, I was so excited. It was positive, it was wonderful, everything was great. I loved the classes, I loved the other teachers, I loved everything about it. And then a short time after that, my husband was killed, and it was very unexpected, and I was obviously devastated. It was probably the darkest time in my life so far. And the COCA community, and when I say the community, I mean the students, the parents, the faculty, the staff, everybody. It's like they embraced me and just wanted to heal me. And they sent food and flowers and plants and cards and letters and drawings, and they wanted to heal me, and they did. I don't know where I would be now if it wasn't for the COCA community, like, really lifting me up and healing me. So I'm still here, and I'm so glad I subbed for that girl back in college.
Teaching for COCA programs, I've had the opportunity to be in dozens and dozens of schools during the after-school hours. But when I started working for school and community programs, the very first week that I was here, I went with Shauna to Jefferson Elementary to get the after-school program started. And I'd never been there. I drove with Shauna, we parked, and she had the registration forms in her arms, and we got out of the car. And as we started to approach the building, there was a group of students on the playground, and a wave kind of went through them. They said, "It's the COCA lady! There's the COCA lady!" And they all started screaming, "It's the COCA lady!" And they all rushed the fence, and then we came into the playground area, and they all rushed Shauna, all talking at once about needing the registration forms and when does the after school start. And I was just very struck by all of the situations that I had been in, the energy and just the absolute excitement that was prevalent. We were walking down the hall after we got away from that group of kids, and then walked down the hall, and just people kept calling out and shouting, and it was overwhelming to see that type of impact in one place that was so prevalent in the entire school community. It was really cool.
A few years ago, I was producing the fall fundraiser, and COCA had brought in Robert Battle and Battle Works. We were working on the finale, which was a dance piece using the students and the professional group. And the kids were, well, they were acting like kids, but I didn't have a lot of time and I didn't have a lot of patience, and I just yelled and said, if you can't be disciplined, if you can't be focused, we do not have time, we will not be in this number. And like that, those kids became professionals. And I've seen them behave that way for years and years now, like professionals. Not every student is going to be on Broadway. Not every kid's going to make it to Alvin Ailey or Ballet Hispanico. But these kids, they're getting a chance to see an opportunity to feel better about themselves, to learn to see the world with another filter. And some of them do make it. And those who make it, they've shown a different commitment. They've come back, and they've come back to help the next generation.
We had one person actually in the business conference who got there, and when I said, I usually introduce my section by saying, I hear I'm the scary one, I'm the dance one, and everybody's like, yeah, that's true. And this guy went white. He was like, this is dance? I didn't read my card. I don't think I belong here. And he was really having a moment. And we just tried to allay his fears right away and let him know it's going to be okay. We're all in this together, and take the risk. We'll be there on the other end. And he did. He stayed, and I think he really got a lot out of it. He looked like he had to challenge himself to engage with the material and learn from it, and he did. And I think he really felt like he could take ideas of leadership and what it means to be an effective leader, what it means to be an effective follower based on the tango metaphors we were working with. I think he felt like he could take that back to work with him and use it, actually use it, which was, it's always nice for us on the CocoBiz team to see people go, oh, I got that one, I'm going to take that back with me in my briefcase. I have a new skill or a new idea or a new way to think about whatever the content is.
The ELL children in the classroom are usually very quiet, very hesitant to share because their English is not strong. They get into their ELL classroom, especially with these two artists, and they just open their hearts through their writing. They did a poetry unit, and kids who never say boo in their classroom wrote the most heartfelt family stories that you were amazed. As the principal of the school, I was amazed at the words that we're able to put on paper from kids who usually don't, maybe in the classroom, write 1 or 2 sentences. Illustrated them and had a formal art exhibit with it. A sidebar to it, because we're always looking at academics, was when I reviewed all the map data by content and questions in GLEs, our ELL students in grades 6 and the few 5th graders scored higher than the regular English-speaking children in figurative language, and I really attribute it to the artists in the poetry classes.
Being in this environment for a majority of my high school experience and being in front of all these students that love to do the same thing that I love to do, and being in front of these teachers that wanted to educate students that love doing what we love to do, it can't be put into words. Like, it's almost tangible, the energy and the spirit and the welcome and all of that warmth that you feel when you walk into the building, and embracing that stage in my senior year and having, you know, people come in from companies like Alvin Ailey and Complexions and these known people that COCA brings in to work with students such as us, and it's just a breathtaking experience.
When I moved to St. Louis 7 years ago, I was frantically searching for a home beyond the home with my husband, and wasn't sure that I was going to ever find one, and then somehow we wound up at COCA. There was a program at COCA on Sunday that I thrilled that I got to. It was with Danny Lewis, who was a Jose Limon dancer, and that was another home for me. I had not danced with Jose Limon, but I danced with Charles Weidman. So I'm looking for Charles's picture everywhere I go. But even the mention and the knowledge that, you know, oh yes, I remember that story. Oh yeah, I remember that story. So there's that home too, and the wonderful aspect of bringing that to these kids who, without COCA, would have no sense of their history, what COCA means to me.
It was a year ago this month that we moved to the St. Louis, Missouri area, and the main reason we moved here from California is COCA. We were looking for a place for about a year, a dance center to develop our daughter, who's now 10 years old, Katrina, for her dance ability. Her dream is to dance. The second issue is my other daughter, who's 6 years old now. Tamara's Down syndrome and very high functioning. And COCA has embraced her from day one and has a special love and community here all of our own. The dancers wait for their hugs, and they all know Tamara. So I really just want to tell you that the community, the families in here, the environment, as well as the professional level. Katrina's already in the pre-professional program, working with Christy Cardell, working with Amy Shears. It's been phenomenal.
Hi, my name is Marie-Ève Trudel.
Hi, my name is Philomène Lévesque-Rainville.
And I'm Nicolas Germain-Marchand.
And we were part of the cast of Alice in Wonderland. We're very well welcomed. Welcome.
Yeah, and like the team is very dynamic.
Yes.
We love that there was like an exhibition, everything like that revolved around the play was really interesting. And as for myself, it's the second time I come here, and it's always like a pleasure. And I always admire like the children. how they ask some good questions, like the Q&As are really, really rewarding and interesting. That's right.
My name is Sheridan Lancaster. I'm in the 6th grade and I go to Jefferson Elementary. Favorite extra, COCA memory was when Mr. Masco and we did Stevie Wonder. It was special because the audience, they was clapping very loud and they wanted more. They was screaming and shouting my name and everything.
My very first time in COCA was in 1987. Richard Barron was here with Adam Pinsker from Dance St. Louis, and I came with Catherine Dunham Children's Workshop to open the building, and we were in the Emerson, and we had COCA going for about 5 years maybe. We had our first scholarship student, Rodney Hamilton. So Rodney, one day, we had started the company, COCA Dance, and we went to the Juvenile Detention Center, and at the end of the performance, Rodney is, just kind of goofing around, and there's this one guy who is helping put up the chairs, and so he's probably on good behavior. And he walks up to Rodney and he goes, "You don't remember me, do you?" Rodney looks at him and he goes, He goes, "Oh my gosh, we were best friends in elementary school." And then Rodney tells me, "This is not a bad kid. If it weren't for dance, I would be right here with him." So right then, I knew that I was on the right path, and COCA was going to be the place to do what my heart feels is right.
Think about how it began and how I was bitten by the bug, as my mother puts it. I remember taking pre-ballet with Lee Nolting around the age of 6. I remember watching with my face pressed up against the glass as Lee led COCA dance rehearsals and just thinking, I really want to do that. The most amazing thing that COCA ever gave me, though, was the opportunity to choreograph quite regularly. I was able to create my first piece of movement when I was only 13 years old, an extremely young age, and after that I was able to create one or most of the time more than one piece every year after that until I graduated college. It wasn't until my junior year in college that I realized how lucky I was with that experience and opportunity. When I was a junior, I was able to be given the chance to create movement again, and many of my classmates were telling me that it was their first time ever able to set a piece of work on dancers, and so that gave me 8 extra years of just being able to explore that realm that many other children didn't have a chance to have, and so I'm very grateful for that and thankful to COCA and to Lee. And Lee, she'll always and forevermore be an inspiration, motivation, the best leader and mentor I've ever had. So at this time, I teach master classes and workshops in New York City. I get commissioned to create original and existing works on other professional dance companies, and I, like I said, direct my own dance company, Damage Dance, with whom most recently I just premiered my own work in Scotland at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which was quite exciting. And so, we come a long way after all these years, and I think that's one of the best things about COCA, is that you can really see the growth through the generations. As Lee, watches me and the rest of her students grow, I'm actually able to watch some of my own students from COCA grow, which is pretty phenomenal to see. Some who've already been accepted into pretty prestigious dance conservatories, Ailey Fellowship Program, and other such things, great summer intensives and apprenticeships and things like that. And so that's quite rewarding to also be a part of that and feel what Lee feels when she sees myself and the other dancers of my generation from COCA. So that alone, and plus much, much more. I could talk for hours.
One of the things that's impressed me since the very beginning when I met Richard and Stephanie, that there's a sense of striving and responsible leadership there that's been present for the entire 24 years that I've been doing one thing or another at COCA. And certainly behind all of that, or certainly up front maybe is better, are the outstanding professional staff so are highly committed to helping students, whether they're little children or grown-up students. They help make people better than they thought they could be. And that's a happy group of people. And I think another aspect of COCA is its high sense of community responsibility. Community outreach came early with the invitation to bring inner city students to COCA's theater programs and provide complimentary tickets and to provide bus service. That was how we got our first van. And that this continues today with the remarkable programs we have with the city schools that are the result of the Ford Foundation grant. And I guess the final point is that I don't think there's a single one of these 24 years that COCA hasn't been fiscally responsible, and it's rather amazing. They've balanced their books. If they didn't have the cash, they had good pledges that more than covered it. And all in all, it's just a remarkable organization. Stephanie, with her 23 years there, did a wonderful job, and I guess one of her largest gifts to COCA was to bring Kelly Pollock and the staff that surrounded Kelly and all of you at COCA just are a first-rate group. And I'd never go over to COCA that I don't feel really glad I'm there.